Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs from all over the world, please make welcome the truth guy, Mr. Home-Based Business himself. The man of the hour, everyone's favorite, Kerry Miller.
And good evening. Hope everybody has had an absolute wonderful day. I know it's been a great day here at the office in the studios, and let me go ahead and you can hear the dang. I always forget to do this. I talk about distractions all the time and all that kind of stuff, and I'm the first one that doesn't turn off the distractions. And I've got three phones and and my email coming in and all that stuff. So that's one of those things that I forget to do. So if you forget to do that, you're not by yourself. I do the same thing. But I hope that everyone has had an absolute amazing day, and I hope everybody's really had a chance to think about what I was talking about last night, and had a chance to go in and to kind of evaluate your dreams and what you wanted to do in the past and all those kind of things. I'm going to turn some stuff off here. And I hope you've thought about that. And I hope you woke up this morning and you said, you know what? I don't know if he's right, but I know he's on the right track. I don't know if everything he says is the truth, even though the show is called The Truth Guy. But what he says makes sense, and gosh, man, I laid in bed last night and my dreams were going. COVID has really put a hurt on everything, and I watched the news very carefully. I've got make money from just about every state in the United States, so I talk to customers in just about every state in the United States, and I spoke to some people in Jersey today, and Arizona today, and Florida today, and of course Texas, and it's really all the same thing right now. Everybody's kind of nervous about what's going on, and there's no greater time. And I'll never forget, I was watching an interview with Mark Cuban and the other day, and he was saying that more millionaires will be made today because of entrepreneurship than ever before. Why? Because people are turning and saying, hey, I've got to make a change. I've got to do something different. And I've got to do something for me, and I've got to do something for my family, and I've got to do something to sustain where I'm at and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So, it's time to be unapologetic for wanting the best for you and your loved ones. It's time to say, you know what? I'm tired of telling people, I'm kind of sorry I started this. I wish I'd have never done it, because people, like we talked about last night, people are your worst enemy, right? I mean, everybody's a critic. Everybody's a critic. And everybody will be telling you what you should do and what you should do. But you've got to be willing to build something special for those that you care about. And you should not shy away because others' opinions of what you do. If you want to start a home-based business and you found one that's a fit for you, and you want to jump on board. Now let me say this when I say that. You've got to make sure that you put 110, 120% effort into it, because if you don't take it serious, if it's really not, excuse me, if it's really not what you want to do, if you're really not passionate about it, if you're not passionate about creating another income, if you're not passionate about building your business, if you're not passionate about doing the things that you want to do, guess what? You're not going to do it. And then the only person you're going to disappoint is yourself. And then what happens is gosh, man, everything around you becomes a disappointment, because you say, you know what? They told me so. Yep, they told me so. They were right, and I was wrong. They were right saying, you know what? I shouldn't do this because I'm a failure. That's the first thing that goes through our minds. I can tell you numerous times when I've started on ventures, I've looked at myself in the mirror and said, God, man, another failing venture. Until I realized, and I had great mentors around me, and I had people around me, and surrounded myself with great people that said, hey, you know what? This ain't happening no more. This is a learning experience. I'm not going to wake up in the mornings and look in the mirror and say, hey, you know what? I failed. I fell off the truck, and I can't get back up. I can't do this anymore. No, I just revamped what I was thinking about, and then reevaluated. And if it worked, it worked. If it did, it didn't. But what I did do is make sure that I did not allow my own self to break me down, to take me out of my game. Because we have a habit of doing that. You have to create your own amazing future. I can't do it for you. I can sit here and help you. I can mentor you. I can talk to you. As a matter of fact, we're revamping KerryMillerTV. I know they put some graphics up today, put some hot spots on, but very soon you're going to be able to set an appointment with me, and we'll have a 30-minute consultation for free. I'm not going to charge you for it. I want to help people. And if I can help direct you in a direction that you want to go, then I'll do that. If I can't, I can't. But we have to have conversation. And that's one of the things that you have to do to be able to create your amazing future is be able to have conversation. And I was telling you last night about a young man. His name is Trent. And he's got Wavy Apparel, and we're going to talk to him tomorrow night. He's going to be on the show, and I'm very excited about that. I'm going to bring him on board at 7 o'clock. And so tomorrow night will be a little bit different. We're going to bring an entrepreneur on, a young entrepreneur who said, you know what, man, I'm going to have me an amazing future because I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go, and I know exactly what's going to happen. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And you don't just fall into success. I've heard this so many times. Oh, Kerry, you're just everything you touch turns to gold. Everything you do, you're successful. I mean, I'm not that person. Let me tell you something. You have to take risk in order to be successful. I don't just wake up in the morning and say, okay, let's see, I've got to spend $30,000 on this project and write a check, and it just happened. It just doesn't work that way, When I started in the beacon business in 2017, I literally woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and had an idea. I launched my company and didn't spend a penny. I had sales coming in before I even had product, but I believed in it that much. I said, you know what, this is going to work. And so after I put everything together, I hadn't spent a penny yet except my time. And trust me, my time is extremely valuable to me. So don't take me wrong when I say I didn't spend anything. I spent my time. And your time is the most valuable asset you have. But then, even though sales were slow in the beginning, I had to take a risk, and I had to lay out a very substantial outlay in order to get the product here from the manufacturer. And that product was made overseas, and I had to have it shipped here, go through customs, pay customs fees, and do all that stuff, put it in the warehouse, take care of it, make sure that it was being sold. And I was working a lot of hours. Now, I will tell you, within a year and a half, that business was gone. Technology made a huge shift. Things happened. I didn't lose money. I made great money, but the technology completely changed. So it changed the game. So I had to make a rapid decision to stop that. Okay. I took the risk. I got involved. I rode the wave, as they say. Everybody rides a wave. And when the wave started diminishing, I said, okay, it's time to move on, and it's time to do something else. You have to get to that place that you want to go. And so in order to do that, in order to have that success, you've got to take that risk. Without risk, there is no what? No reward. I mean, we've heard that hundreds of thousands of times in our life. Without risk, there is no reward. And if you're not willing to take risk, then let me highly recommend, don't even think about being an entrepreneur. Don't even think about it. You guys hear me talk about my good friend Carlos Seguro often. And he just sold one of his businesses for 8 figures. But to start that business, he took a huge risk. I've got a great interview with him on my channel. I recommend that you go listen to it. Matter of fact, I'll tag it in this video. He's got an amazing story, but he took risk. I mean, he didn't just fall into an 8-figure business, and he's launching another 8-figure business as we speak. We were talking and helping him do some tests just the other day. So don't think for a second that you will just fall into success. Now, does it happen? Yeah, if you're somebody in your family super wealthy and you get all this money, but that's not success. There's a difference in success and wealth. Success is achieving something that you have in your heart of hearts, that you want to take on and you want to make happen. So you can be successful and not make a lot of money. I was talking to a young entrepreneur today, and I hope to get him online very soon. An amazing young man. He's the CEO of his own drone company that is doing some things with electrical lines and things like that. Just phenomenal what this young guy's doing. And he's just in the beta stages. I mean, they're borrowing money and getting money in and venture capital in on a risk that electrical companies and highline companies and things like that will use this young man's idea. I mean, so we all take risk as entrepreneurs. We all take risk and have to move forward to do the things we want today. And the only way you're going to create that amazing future is to take that risk. And the only way you're going to take that risk is you have to be unapologetic to yourself and to everyone around you. You don't owe anyone anything if you do something. You don't owe them a reason why. Maybe your wife, your kids, your significant other, whoever that person is, okay, whoever that person is in your life that you confide in and you make decisions with, that person you need to discuss it with. But if you believe it and they support you, don't allow everyone else to drag you down and throw you in the mud and not get you there. Do not be that person that says, "Oh God, I'm so sorry I did that." It's time to be unapologetic to everyone for wanting the best for you and your loved ones. You have to keep on moving forward, doing the things that you do to get you where you want to go. And I don't care what it is. I remember I lived in Asheville, North Carolina, and I wanted to start doing crafts. Everybody was doing crafts. And there was a little, what do you call it, flea market just around the corner from where I lived. It wasn't little, it was huge. And so, shelves were pretty popular, and I made a few shelves. I don't even drive a nail. I mean, I'm the most unconstruction human being that you've ever seen. Okay. And, but you know what? I said, you know what? I can go get me a scroll saw, and I can go get me a bandsaw, and I can go get me a table saw, and I can make these shelves. So I found me some patterns, and this was, shoot, you didn't even go on and Google anything. Google wasn't even around then. But what I did was I went out and bought me some shelves, and I made me some patterns. And guess what? Within a few weeks, I was selling little, I think they call them deacon's benches or something like that. And I was selling shelves, and I was selling little hearts, and I was making stuff. I lived in an apartment. I was literally creating it on a patio that was about 30 square feet. And I would load it up in my car, and I would go down to the flea market, and I did it. Why? Because I had a passion for it. And I considered myself very, very successful because people were buying the products that I created, you know. And I gave a lot of stuff away to my friends. I would work on something. It didn't turn out quite right. So that was a gift. That was a gift to someone. But I didn't owe anybody an apology. After I got done with it, I was through with it. The equipment was set in the shed out in the back, and I was over. I was successful in accomplishing a task that I wanted to do, and I had to take risk. I had to purchase the equipment and the lumber and the materials to do this. I had to go to Lowe's and get the materials, and I had to go to Lowe's and buy my saws and all that stuff. And when I did that, now I had an investment, right? Because risk means that you put something in to get something out. And I'm not just talking your time. I'm talking about finances. I'm talking about writing a check. I'm talking about spending, I don't care if it's $100 or $100,000. You've got to reach in and you've got to take that risk and you've got to put something into it. And, then you take yourself to that place that you want to go. What takes you there? And I'm going to start this conversation tonight, and you'll hear me talk about it tomorrow night. This is going to be a great segue into when I get Trent online. It's going to be a great segue of in is you do all this because you have a why. Something in your heart, something in your mind, something somewhere says, hey, you know what? I do this because of this. Why do you do it? Because of the ones you love, because you have a dream, because you want to move forward in the future, because you want to build a residual income, because you want to build a recurring income. You do this and you have to figure out why you do it. No one can tell you your why. No one can tell you your why that will get you to the place that will give you that great success you're looking for, that you're willing to take a risk for, so that you can have that amazing future, create that amazing future, not just for yourself, but for your why. I do what I do because I love helping people. I love sharing my successes and my failures with people. I love being a part of that, whatever you want to call it, that aura in the air of helping people become successful. So I will ask you this question as we come to a close. What is your why? Why do you do what you do, and why do you want to do something else that will take you to that place that you truly want to go, that will give you that financial, and I'm not talking about a job. Anybody can get a job. There are help wanted signs everywhere. People are wanting people to go to work, even during COVID, because a lot of people won't go back to work because they're afraid of COVID. So it's not a fact that you're of work. It's a fact of a future. Okay. What is it you want? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to take you to that place that you want to go? What is your why? And you have to answer that question. You have to answer your question of what is it that drives me? What is it that puts me in the place and the position that I want to be? What is my why to get me where I want to go? If you can figure that out, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, will stop you. And I will guarantee that, because nothing is more powerful than your why. Your why will take you to places nothing else will. Absolutely nothing else will. So with that said, we're going to close tonight. We've been here for 20 minutes. I tell you, this is the fastest 20 minutes of my life. We will be back tomorrow night. I'm going to bring a young man on board. His name is Trent, and he is the owner of his own company. And I met him the other night. Just a great kid. And I talked to him today, and I'm going to bring him on board tomorrow night. Please be here. Support him. Listen to what he's got to say. And I want you to hear what his why is and the reason he wants to do the things he does. Everybody have a great evening. Good night. I'm going to let my good buddy Frankie, God bless his soul, loved him to death. We lost him to COVID 2 months ago, 3 months ago now, I guess, and 2 months ago. And I'm going to let him take us out of here. Part of the band that I play in today, and I miss him so much. Love you all. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow night.